Good morning, it's Tuesday and we are starting the day by just putting orders together. We've got 4 to do, and then we're hoping if this cloud cover stays we can get more transplanting of our lettuce done. We've had some major problems at one of our sites with Salanovas. We planted 2 50-foot beds. They died. They either got scorched by the sun or eaten by something else. And then we replanted into them again, and when I went back yesterday it looked like 50% at best survived. And the more I looked into it, the more I realized that it wasn't the sun that scorched them like it did perhaps the last time, that it was probably slugs. And one thing I've seen this year, because we've had such an abnormally wet summer in July, which is I have never remembered in my life. I've lived here almost my entire life. I've never seen this, that we have slugs sticking around. And I think that's what's eating our lettuce plugs at that one particular site. So we're going to plant at another site because I'd rather just kind of go the path of least resistance. And I talk about this in my book, in my courses, that I call it defensive location rotation. And that when I have a problem at one site, instead of trying to deal with it, and not that I don't, but it's easier just to go and plant somewhere else. If there's because there's different types of weeds, different types of pests at different sites. This is an advantage to having multiple locations. So we're just going to go put that lettuce somewhere else and take that landscape fabric off those beds and put something else in there. For the meantime though, I'm out in the front yard here, gonna harvest some of these beet tops, beet greens for auxiliary greens for our salad mix. Just heading out to our Lawrence Avenue plot to do an impromptu change of our lettuce. We've had so much problems with our last 4 beds of Salanova planted at our other plot that I'm going to now start putting at this one because we don't seem to have as many problems with slugs here. One thing I've noticed over the years with slugs is that the heavier soil you have, generally the more water retention you have, and then the more potential slug problems you have. And because this plot that I'm going to right now is very sandy soil in general, in most parts, there's a lot less slug problems. And so my thinking is, well, let's put this lettuce where there's less slugs and where the soil is sandier, and that might be a way to avoid the problem altogether. This Salanova lettuce was planted the same day or maybe one day off from the other plot, and it's done a lot better here, so that's where this is going to go. I'm going to quickly crop out this bed of spinach, which is full of purslane. Oh God. And that, Mark's gonna turn those over and we're gonna put Salanova there. I'm also going to crop out this bed of Red Russian, and he's gonna put the other Salanova bed there. And I think I'm gonna crop this one out as well. So I'm gonna cut 3 beds here. It's gonna be a light yield, and we're gonna put Salanova in all of their places. The weed pressure at this site is the worst I've ever seen it. And I've got weeds in here that I've never seen at this plot before. It makes me think that my compost that I bought this year had a bunch of weeds in it, because I don't see where else these would have come from. I've got so much Russian pigweed, which is a weed that germinates best in the summer, same as purslane. I've got it everywhere here, and we've never had weed pressure problems here at all, because from the beginning we were stale seed bedding at this site, like from the beginning of its inception. So there's some kind of external thing that's causing this problem. And what I think we're going to do today, I've cropped out these beds. We're going to burn them heavy and let them sit for a day, and then come and turn them the next day. I sometimes like to let them sit after I burn them so that it has time to die off and basically dry out, because sometimes if you just burn and then you were to shank it right away, you might preserve the energy in the taproot and then it comes back. So we're going to spend some time doing some perimeter and bed weed management at this site today. Backup arugula seed from Johnny's just arrived. Sylvetta. Grown the variety before, it's good. Mark's just putting it in the ground. Been using a variety called Voyager for the last couple years, but I've used Sylvetta before. I like it. It's more or less the same thing what I got from Voyager. That's just my main seed supplier in Canada, William Dam, is out of it, so got the Sylvetta from Johnny's. Some days when I'm working inside and it's nice outside, it's hard to be inside, so I come out here and I water my front yard. I actually find it very sort of a meditative thing to do. And I've talked about this before, but because this stuff is on drip, it's good to get a bit of overhead water till it establishes. And I've got my carrots coming up now. That's good. But we just planted these 4 other little segments yesterday, so I'm just gonna hand water them in. All right, well, that's the day. It's kind of blown by. I kind of got carried away doing some inputting some data for this new app, and can't really answer a lot of questions about the app. I'll tell you guys more about it as more develops, but it is going to be available worldwide, and we plan on getting it out within the year, at least out to some beta testers, so you can look forward to that. I'll post more information about it as it becomes available, and we'll see you tomorrow.